Hey everybody, this is WS6Man96 here. Thanks for tuning in to this video. We are out on a special bike today on this very beautiful day in June 29th. Just heading home from work, getting onto a back road here, and I figured I'd take you all along for a ride. This is my dad's 2005 Harley-Davidson Sportster 1200 Custom. He bought this brand new in 2005, and I thought I would get it out today. I asked him, hey, can I borrow your bike? I'd like to feature it on my channel. And he said, sure, yeah, it's a little dirty. So I said, that's alright, I'll clean it up for you. So cleaned it up and I took it to work today, and I figured I'd do a little ride along video and then stop and show you some of the things that he's done, some of the things that I like a lot about this bike, and hopefully just kind of show off my dad's bike a little bit. So we're just gonna enjoy this on this back road here for a little while, and then we'll culminate on a safe place to stop and get off and show you some of the things that I think are pretty cool about this bike. So like I said, it's a 2005, and he purchased it brand new in Altoona, Pennsylvania at Apple Harley-Davidson. It's now Roadhouse, I think. And fond memories of this bike. I was able to ride it home with him on the back, so that was pretty cool. I would have been 15 at the time, and so I was up and coming to riding motorcycles, so that was a pretty neat experience for me to be able to do. And so I think ever since that day I've had a little soft spot for Harley, and it was my dad's first Harley as well. He'd wanted one for a good while, and he was able to get this one. It's in a very nice color, I think, and he doesn't have any modifications as far as engine goes or exhaust, and I'll show you more of what he has done though once we get stopped. So we'll pick up once I find our spot, and I'll take you guys on a little tour around the bike. Hello again, everyone. I know I said that we would pick back up once I found a place to pull off, but I wanted to take you on a little ride here, a little bit longer on the freeway, not freeway, on the road, whatever, what does it matter? Just tell you some things that I really do like about the bike, and that is first and foremost the ergonomics. You really can't beat this for just, you know, your cruiser style bike. The handlebars are really comfortable. They're not extremely wide, which is interesting, but the seat is very comfortable. It is a different seat, and I'll show you once we stop, but overall handling is fine for what it is, and it's just very easygoing to ride. I could ride this all day long. The wind actually is not bad at all. Another thing that I really like about this bike is the gearing. I'll start by saying first gear is a little high on this bike, so when you're pulling out of places, it kind of feels like you're gonna stall sometimes because it's so tall. So that is a little odd getting used to, and the clutch pull is pretty tight, but every Harley that I've ridden has been that way. so it's nothing too out of the ordinary. Has forward controls, obviously. That's pretty cool. I always like that. It's always interesting getting off of a standard bike with mid controls after you've ridden it for a couple hours, and then you go and get on a cruiser and you're looking for the foot pegs. But anyway, back to this bike here. Another thing that I really like is just the standard analog gauge telling you your speed. It does have the digital readout on the bottom, and you can cycle through with a little button on the backhand side, but I like the standard needle. Another cool thing that I appreciate that Harley does, and I'm sure some other manufacturers do, but is the self-canceling turn signals. I think that they're nice, because I'm sure we all have forgotten to turn our turn signals off at one point or another. So they should cancel, yep, and they did. Another thing that I really enjoy about this bike is obviously the sound. I've always tried to coax my dad to put at least a set of slip-ons on. I haven't quite coaxed him enough yet, but I have ridden a Sportster 1200 iron, actually, that had Vance and Hines slip-ons, and I really liked the sound of that bike with those on, so maybe I might get him to get some here. But we're almost to the spot now, and hopefully you've gotten a good sense of what this bike is like. I think Harley did a really great job when they brought this bike out in 2004 and did the improvements on it as far as motor, the way the motor was mounted, and so your hands aren't shaking off and you at least have some feeling after you ride the bike. The vibration is not bad at all. So we'll pick back up once I've found the spot and take you a little tour. We're near a local covered bridge here that I live by. I thought this might be a nice scenic place. Ignore the pump station in the background. But here is the bike. And so I'll just cover some of the things that I was mentioning while we were riding that I really like about the bike, and the things that my dad has changed. So we'll start at the top. Some of the things that I think is really cool is, one, the gauges. As you can see, it does have the dummy lights up at the top, and it has the standard analog gauge as well as a digital. So right now we are on trip A, 72 miles. We have a trip B. We have the overall mileage. He has 8,075 miles on it. Not bad for a 2005. And then it takes you right back to the trip. So that is the gauge cluster. What I really like, he added this little clock insert, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm not sure where the clock is at this time. I don't know if it falls out or not. Moving on though, he did put this gauge here for the, I believe it's the oil temp, and he got the painted side covers to match the color of the bike. I forget what color it is exactly, but it's like a black cherry color, and I think that the paint is great on the bike. Harley always has a nice attention to detail, and the chrome is still really good on my dad's bike. The rims, the chrome has aged very well, or rather hasn't aged at all. The only thing that I did see was the front headlight. You can't really see it now, but it does have a slight discoloration there, but overall not bad at all. It has sat in a garage all its life. So moving back, we do have a different seat. My dad purchased a different seat for it. I really do like the different seat. If you can remember the original ones, they came back and just kind of tapered off. So he got this more comfort seat because my mom does ride along every once in a while with him, and he got the additional backrest. Another thing that I really like that he put on is the option of taking it on and off. So there are little flip tabs that you can actually pick this up and off if you don't want this on here. But it's nice to strap things to. As you can see, he did add the optional rack with it as well. Another thing on this side that I'd like to point out is he did get the sprocket for the belt. There might be a more adequate name for this, but he did get the cover for this sprocket to be in chrome. Stock pipes, stock motor. He hasn't done a whole lot to it, and that's alright. I think it runs fine just the way it is. It could be a little bit louder for me, like I was talking about earlier on. We'll see if we can get him encouraged enough to get some Vance and Hines or Screamin' Eagle, something just a little bit louder, a little extra dB on the thing. On this side, nothing really is different other than, like I said, the side covers are different. He hasn't done anything with the controls. I do believe he bumped up the shocks one click, just in case someone does ride with him. So like I said, I rode this bike the day that he got it. I was a passenger on the back, and if I remember right, it was a pretty cold day, and coming back it was a little interesting, but definitely was worth it. Didn't scare me from riding. Here I am today, 13 years later, and really enjoying riding. Nothing else comes to mind that he has done. Grips are stock, handlebars are stock. He does get really good gas mileage with it. I know he is always upper 40s, almost 50s on it. I think he's got as high as, I'd like to say, 55, 56. I think he took this on a trip to Virginia at one point, and it does really well on fuel. This got the 4.5 gallon tank with the 1200 custom. The 883s, the standard models, had the 3.5 gallon. So what I think makes this bike really special, not only that it's just my dad's bike, but also that in 2004 Harley revamped their Sportster from that wrist shaking, bone shaking vibration that you would feel from the motor to this rubber mounted 3 points, I guess they fixed it, or to a rubber mounting system. They also changed the cylinders and the cooling fins and improved it. They didn't actually, I don't believe, increased horsepower or anything, but they did improve the overall motor and how the functionality of it goes. So we'll cut the video there. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I hope you've been enjoying my videos, and hopefully I'll have a new bike every once in a while. I'm looking to keep doing this, and let me know what you think of this 2005's 1200 Custom Sportster. I think it's a really great all-around bike. It's not overly heavy, handles great, runs well, and is very comfortable to ride and just enjoy. So I'm going to get back out and enjoy it today. And I again thank you everyone to tuning into my channel, and hope you all have a great day.